Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to "This One Thing Can Build Hope in Any Hopeless Situation." I am kind of curious about that. What I would normally say, now that I think about it, if I were to say something like this, what could that be? That time heals all wounds. At least that's what they say. Most wounds I'm sure it can heal. And that in due time, things can work themselves out. Or, yeah, work themselves out. I don't know. I mean, other than those two things that I've heard in my life, which can be mostly believable, I don't know what else can, I guess, bring hope in a hopeless situation. So let's go ahead and get started.
You know what? We all have the spark in us, isn't it? Each one of us, the spark to succeed, the spark to love, the spark to do good, the spark to move on in life, the spark to scale high. We all have this in us. साहब है जी क्या करें लेकिन You know what life does to us? You know what life does to us?
Joe?
Misunderstandings, conflicts, emotional abuse, sometimes sexual abuse in childhood, traumas of an abusive parent, lack of success in all our endeavors, mental health issues, physical health issues. हार गया ना कितना तकलीफ देगी रे जिंदगी मुझे कितना तंग करेगी मैं इधर तंग होने के लिए नहीं आया है भाई मेरे को अच्छे से जीना है खुशी से जीना है क्यों कर रही है परेशान And guess what, guys? After all of that, that spark is gone. I don't want to be good to anybody any longer, man. I've been used. Enough. It's very hard to come out of that mindset. When life does this, very tough. And that's exactly when we need somebody else, guys.
No.
When you realize कि मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है अभी.
I was a little bit laughing because I kind of get it. It's like what was it? Like, I get the situation. And the thing about Gaur does is what I like to call a feel-good kind of person. You hear the music in the background, getting your emotion built up, feelings, when you watch movies, you hear the music, it builds you up, or it makes you feel the scene even more. Same thing with here. But at the same time, sometimes they're very good, how to say, advice. The thing I hate, honestly, I don't know if I say hate, I just don't like it, honestly, which is like the feel-good stuff. Like people say, it's like, oh, don't worry, you'll make it out of this. You're great and fantastic. You'll pull through. Like, kind of something along those lines. It's hard to say. Like, people giving you advice that they never went through. Um, or like, but those advice is not very good. It's very difficult. I can't think of the right word or saying for it. But it's just essentially just people trying to uplift you with good vibes and good whatever. But it's not realistic, I guess is the thing I'm looking for. Obviously, it's like, hey, look, it's going to be kind of bad now, but, give it some time, you'll feel better. That's practical. And not like, oh, you're gonna be fine, you're great, and etc. You're gonna be happy, all that kind of stuff. I don't like feel good stuff. Like when you see posters like keep your head up or whatever. It's just cringy for me.
नहीं हो रहा है. That is when we need people. Will the Lamborghini do this? Will your 3,000 square feet apartment do this? Will that antique piece in your house do this? It's the person in whom you have invested will trigger this back. और इसीलिए मैं कई बार कहता हूं, छोटे से दिल में गम बहुत है. छोटे से दिल में गम बहुत है. जिंदगी ने दिए जख्म बहुत है. छोटे से दिल में गम बहुत है. जिंदगी ने दिए जख्म बहुत है. कब की मार डालती है जालिम दुनिया हमें. कमबख्त इन प्यार करने वाले दोस्तों की दुआओं में दम बहुत है.
Okay, I'm not saying that Gorgopal does is like cringy like this. No, actually, I was a bit worried whenever I started hearing the music and he starts giving all these speeches. Like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those kind of cringy good advice type thing. But no, it actually gets really good advice. I guess the only thing is that because these are just short clips, he doesn't exactly perhaps give examples or gives a way to how to do it. For example, your friend, was clicking the lighter that's kind of put out, then you have your friend lighter that will help spark your spark back, light your fire back. There we go. But how do you do that? I mean, sure. I mean, I guess I could find a friend maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you should know how to kind of do these things, but at the same time, you kind of maybe need help a little bit because some people don't know how to look for good friends or how to find friends. my my example is go to a place that you like a hobby that you do. I mean, again, me saying this seems easy. This is an example of me of my what I did. I didn't really know anyone around. There's a hobby I liked. I went online, looked up a hobby store, went over there just to want to go shopping first. Then I talked to the shop owners, like, hey, does the people over here, play these games? It's like, yeah, they usually come at this time. It's like, okay, I just show up. I just come in on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just go back there and just watch. And eventually, when they start talking, and people don't at least over here, people don't mind. They welcome you into the gaming club. So and that's how I all of a sudden now I'm part of the. There's not a club, but I'm part of the group now. You could say. And but yeah, and that's how how you can start with friends. It's not to say that they all have to become your best friends or anything, but it's at least a start to have friends and you can maybe single one out to be a really good friend. I will say this: there's no really good friends in that club, but they're all friends, and I could talk to some of them about some things, but obviously not everything. But again, that's examples of how to perhaps find someone. Again, every culture is going to be a little bit different. Maybe people are not welcoming. Maybe you have to. I think I watched this one German YouTuber where like friend groups in Germany apparently are very tight knit. That it's very difficult to join one, which is kind of. I mean, I don't know. It is the way it is, you know. Over here, it's. She said that it's very easy to gain friends. Friends come and go, but not necessarily so. I mean, it's easy to make friends for sure. The reason why it's easy to go is because you don't keep in contact. Oh, man, I am talking a lot about stuff, but you get my point. So he's talking about someone. There should be someone in your life that you can depend on. Generally speaking, it's going to be your life partner. You want to find a good life partner that you can depend on. You want to find a good friend that you can depend on. And most of the time, probably you should learn how to work things out mostly on your own and to have an assistant. to help you with a little bit to get you back. So, like, again, life partner or a good friend. You shouldn't put your burden necessarily on someone else. You should lift the bulk of the burden and have someone help you with it. And I don't think that's unreasonable. And like this are examples of what I hope Gaur does in his speeches, where he talks about practicalities of what he speaks. And that's what I hope to do. I give examples of my own life that works for me. I'm not going to sit there and say like, yeah, it's going to work for you too. Guaranteed. Not at all. I mean, that's just one aspect of one way of doing it. This is the kind of reason why I kind of like Hinduism, is because there's many different ways to do it. There's not just one single way that everyone has to follow. My way may not work for you, but I hope maybe it gives you ideas of, like, oh, that's not bad. I should go out and hang out with, like, I like playing cricket or soccer or football or basketball or baseball. Let me just go to a sporting event, go hang out, maybe run into some people. Another example, probably the last one. There's Black Friday shopping. I remember lining up for Black Friday to grab a TV, and I didn't know anyone there. Just right after work, I went straight over there to line up. It's like 8 hours, I think 8 hours, about 8 hours before the stores open. Luckily enough, a coworker friend of mine, drove by. I told him, I was gonna right after work. I'm going straight over there. I want to get in line to be able to make sure I get the one I want. He ended up driving after work to give me a chair, and all of a sudden, while I was just sitting there, the people around I was just listening, and somehow I just merged into that group, and they just started talking. I just listened to them, and when I guess one guy I didn't say we hit it off. He just kind of talked to us. Like, oh, what you going in there for? It's like, oh, I'm going in there for the TV. So, oh yeah, me too. That's cool. We end up going in there. I mean, it was kind of a rush. That guy that talked to me grabbed 2 TVs, one for himself and one for me. That was super awesome. That was super awesome with that dude. And I was like, oh yeah, thank you, and I grabbed it. Otherwise, I don't think I would have made it. He grabbed it for me. Again, weird stuff happens, Never saw the guy again, but I appreciate what he did. I still have that TV, by the way. It still works. That was 15 years ago? Holy smokes. Dang, that is long. But yes. But, who knows? If you get into a crowd, somehow just blend in, merge with them, become one, could end up meeting some friends like that. I'm not very much of a bar person, so I don't go to bars at all. I don't drink. I tried. My friends wanted me to try drinking some. Didn't really like the taste. Okay, anyways. Weird tangent. But again, talks about, again, Gaur Gopal does bring up stories in my life. And examples that I like to say and maybe elaborate a little bit, at least how it pertains to me. In hopes that it helps someone. Or gives people ideas. Like, that's helping too. Anyways, that's my reaction to one thing that can build hope in any hopeless situation. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.